podcast, episode 3. Welcome back to Brilliant Persuasion. I'm Stephen Young, and if my name sounds familiar, it might be because of my book Brilliant Persuasion, published by Pearson Press, a leading educational publisher. Or you've attended one of the many seminars I've delivered around the UK about the language of influence and persuasion. Either way, you're here again, and this means that you already understand that words, carefully chosen, have the power to shift minds, remove resistance, and lead people gently in your direction. Before we begin today, let's do a quick recap of where we left off in episode 2. We explored the agreement frame, the technique where you meet someone with a yes before you redirect, using phrases like, "You're right," and then we added the redefine, taking that agreement and pivoting gently to offer a new frame or perspective. And finally, we introduced the powerful phrase, "and that means," a subtle, complex equivalence that allows you to assign new meaning with confidence. So, how did you get on with them? Have you had a chance to try using the agreement frame or to redefine something smoothly in a real conversation? Let me know in your comments below. I'm keen to learn your experiences. Today, I want to give you 2 new tools that work beautifully together. They're subtle, elegant, and immediately useful. We're going to explore the double-blind and presuppositional questions, and how combining them can help you guide conversations with less friction and far more persuasive impact. Let's begin with the double-blind. This is one of the oldest and one of the most effective persuasion techniques. The structure is simple. You offer someone a choice, but both outcomes lead to your desired result. It's not manipulative, and it's not dishonest. You're still offering options, but those options are designed to move the conversation forward, not sideways. Here's a simple, everyday version. Would you prefer to go for a walk now or after lunch? Either way, they're walking. Now, take a business example. Would you like to finalize the proposal today? Or would you prefer I check in again once your team has reviewed the figures? The action, the direction, is already set. You're just helping them choose how to proceed. What makes the double-blind so effective is that it avoids the yes or no trap. You're not saying, "Shall we do it?" which invites rejection. You're saying, "How shall we do it?" which assumes it's already happening. And the more naturally you deliver it, the more comfortable people feel going along with it. Now, the second tool, the presuppositional question, one of my absolute favorite techniques. This is a question that assumes something is already true. The key to its power lies in what's not being said. When I asked you earlier, what was important to you about being more persuasive, as you answered, you agreed with the premise of the question. I didn't have to sell it to you because you did all the work. By answering my question, you've already agreed with me that being more persuasive is important. All I have to do is show you how I can help you achieve what you've agreed is important to you. It's smooth, it's non-confrontational, and it lets your client, prospect, or friend do the work. I've found that people always answer. So once you've delivered a presuppositional question, just pause for a moment, observe and listen as the stage is set. Let me show you the persuasive power you'll enjoy when you start combining these 2 patterns. In a nutshell, you enable your subject to tell you what matters to them. Here you have options. You can ask a general "what's important to you" question, or you can ask, "What's the single most important thing you want?" And then you guide them towards it by giving them the kind of choice that keeps everything moving. Let me give you a real-world story from one of my seminars. A regional manager was struggling with a team that had become passive. The team was capable but had checked out mentally. During the session, she asked her deputy, "What's important to you about having a team that drives its results?" He replied, "If they take more ownership, I can focus on strategic work, not constant oversight." She followed immediately with, "Would you prefer we coach the team this quarter? Or start with a planning session that hands them control from day one?" You can feel the power of that moment. It wasn't just a strategy, it became his strategy. Now let's try a personal version. Imagine there's tension between you and someone close to you. Instead of retreating or confronting head on, you say, "Can I ask, what's most important to you when things feel off between us?" That question assumes they do want resolution. Maybe they respond by saying, "I just want us to understand each other better and stop arguing." Then you follow up with a double blind. "Would you prefer we talk this through now, or set aside some dedicated time tomorrow when we can both be fresh and fully present?" Here's another more emotionally subtle example. Let's say a friend feels distant. You might ask, "What's important to you about staying connected even when life gets busy?" They might say, "I just don't want us to drift." And you could respond, "Would it help to set a regular catch-up? Or shall we just pencil in next week and see how we go?" Here's a little challenge. Listen carefully and spot the pattern. I'll say a short phrase, and your job is to spot both the presupposition and the double blind. Ready? Here it is. Would you rather lead the conversation with results, or let them come to you because they know you're credible? Here's the solution. The presupposition is that you are credible. The double blind is lead, or let it come to you. Either way, you're winning. Did you spot them both? This is a brilliant way to train your ear, and once you hear it, you'll start to use it. Practice time. Now it's your turn. Here's something you can try this week. Step 1. Start to consciously ask presuppositional questions. Here are a few more examples. What's important to you about getting this done right the first time? How do you see this decision affecting your team long term? Then in step 2, proactively start using double blinds. Would you like to move forward today or revisit it after the Thursday meeting? Try them in a few places. At work, when you're influencing a decision. At home, when you're managing routine conversations. Socially, when planning, inviting, or encouraging agreement. The structure stays the same. But the tone, the vocabulary, the emotion, that's all yours. Here are some commercial and social examples. First, commercial examples. A salesperson asks a potential client, "What's most important to you when choosing a partner for this project?" After the client answers, he or she might say, "Would you prefer we schedule a presentation this week, or would next week suit your timeline better?" A customer service representative asks, "How does finding the right solution quickly help your business stay ahead of competitors?" Then follows up, "Would you like to proceed with the standard support package or explore a customized option?" An account manager might ask, "What's important to you about streamlining your processes this quarter?" And then, "Would you prefer we implement these improvements immediately or set up a phased plan starting next month?" Here are a few social examples. A parent to a child. What matters most to you about feeling happy at school? Would you like us to talk about it tonight? Or after breakfast tomorrow when things are quieter? A couple in disagreement. What's important to you about how we resolve conflicts when things feel tense between us? Would it feel better to talk this through now, or would you rather wait until after dinner? Friends planning a holiday. What do you think would make this trip feel special for everyone? Would you prefer we book something structured or keep it more relaxed and spontaneous? Imagine how much smoother your conversations could be if people felt like they were deciding, but you were guiding. Imagine using questions that draw people in where they reveal what matters most to them, and then you offer them two ways forward, both of which move things along. It's persuasive, elegant, and respectful. That's what this pattern offers. Most companies use sales scripts similar to what you've learned today to improve their sales team's performance significantly. It's been proven that organizations that use these scripts, tailored to their vocabulary, tone, and speaking style, can quantifiably increase their business. This is why large organizations continue to invest millions into training salespeople in this powerful form of communication. Importantly, these techniques aren't limited to commercial environments. Socially, they clarify communication between parents and children, teachers and students. Indeed, any environment where clear communication and mutual agreement matter. It's vital to understand that these skills are not exclusive to business. They're adaptable and effective in all areas of personal and social interaction. The accompanying book, Brilliant Persuasion, is available on Amazon. Inside, you'll find one of the most powerful persuasive techniques ever released. When this pattern was first discovered, it was considered too dangerous for release to the general public. It won't be covered in these podcasts, but you really must learn to recognize when it's being used on you. And that's every single day. And this means that you are unknowingly being manipulated in one way or another. Think about it for a moment and consider just how long you are prepared to allow this to happen. Remember, persuasion isn't a trick. It's a skill. The more you understand it, the more powerful you become. Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep getting brilliant at persuasion.